Hello dear friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Mukesh English. This is Mukesh Soni. Friends, in this video we are going to have a discussion of the 4th semester BCom and BBA Generic English model question paper under Bangalore City University. The duration for the examination 2 hours 30 minutes and the maximum marks allotted for this question paper 60. So let's begin it. Before that, let's know that it has two sections. The section 1 or the section A consists 40 marks, and in this 40 marks you'll be asked the questions based on novella, that's for 30 marks, the financial expert, and the two poems and the two TED talks, 10 marks. So novella and the poems and TED talks will be asked in this section A, that is for 40 marks. So let's begin it. Write short notes on any two of the following questions in about a page. So you have here three important characters, Meenakshi, Balu, Margayya, and out of the three characters, you need to write short note on any two. So 2 into 5, 10 marks. So it has a 10 marks weightage. Meenakshi. This question is indirectly, it's asking about the character sketch. Meenakshi, the wife of Margayya, is a lovable character. She is a typical Indian housewife in a middle-class family. She represents the loving, faithful, submissive, and practical middle-class women of India. Her home is the entire world to her. Her sole duty is to look after her son and her husband. Although her son Balu is a bundle of mischief, giving her untold inconveniences, she bears with him with a characteristically motherly fortitude. Meenakshi is a loving mother. She loves her son deeply. One day, when she has gone to nearby shop to buy something, her husband is at home with Balu. Balu burns his finger by his mischief by touching a burning lamp and lets out a shriek. She comes running into the house and blames her husband for the calamity. The other instance is when Balu disappears from the house. She sheds tears constantly, eats very little, and asks her husband to go out in search of the son. It is she who forces her husband to go to Madras and find Balu. Meenakshi is a devoted and faithful wife. Her husband often scolds her, but even then she remains calm and silent. She suffers humiliation at her husband's hand, but she tolerates everything. Even when Margayya has enough money, he does not employ any servant, and Meenakshi continues to do all household work herself. Meenakshi is meek, submissive, and self sacrificing in nature. She is so tolerant that she even surrenders before her aggressive and dominant husband. She does not argue with him even when she knows that her husband is wrong. When Balu is married to Brinda, she does not like Margayya's idea of putting the son and his wife up in a separate house at Lawley Road. Despite the pain she undergoes due to this, she does not assert and suffers silently. Meenakshi is a practical woman. She knows that money is important in life, but is not everything. She is satisfied with what she is given and does not crave for more. Like her husband, she does not have lust for money. Meenakshi does not regard money as the most important thing in the world. The sensible and the practical aspects of her character are clearly manifested in her advice to her husband when Margayya speaks rudely to the peon Aruldas. In short, Meenakshi is a typical homely Indian housewife. Her field of activity is confined to the four walls of house. Silent suffering is a lot in life, and she bears this suffering without any complaint. She's an ideal Indian housewife. So this is about Meenakshi. Second, a short note on Balu. The Financial Expert is written by R.K. Narayan, and the backdrop is the Malgudi town. In this novel, three characters play a very important role. These three characters are Margayya, Meenakshi, and Balu. The other characters in the novel are Dr. Pal, Brinda, Madan Lal, spelling error, Madan Lal, and Arul Das. Balu is the only child of his parents, Margayya and Meenakshi. He's born after 12 years of the marriage. He's the only child, he's the lonely child, but his father is always busy with his financial transactions. He has neither time nor intention to come back home in time to spend a few moments of leisure with his son. His mother is busy with the domestic chores and has hardly any time for him. Thus, Balu grows neglected and isolated in his early childhood. This has an adverse impact on his later growth. Balu turns into a stubborn and obstinate child because of the utter negligence by his parents. He runs away with his father's valuable accounts book and throws it into the gutter and stands there smiling. He reaps the childish joy by teasing his parents. Balu hates books, studies, teachers, and schools. He has failed in the 10th examination despite tuition at home. His teachers are in the awe of him as he is the son of the secretary of the school. His teachers solve his questions and get him good marks only to keep their job intact. Balu drinks and wastes money lavishly in restaurants. This is perhaps the biggest blunder committed by Margayya. When the boy performs badly, father shouts wildly at him, and the boy runs away to freedom in Madras. He dictates his terms, which his father religiously observes after his return to Malgudi. He is married to Brinda only to be corrected. Balu is left free to do whatever he likes. He comes under the evil influence of Dr. Pal. He indulges himself in drinking, gambling, womanizing, and smoking. He remains away from home till midnight. He demands a share of his property in a threatening way. He speaks the language of a hooligan or ruffian. Balu is rudderless and aimless. He has no achievements except his father undoubtedly unbounded wealth, except his father's unbounded wealth. That too he loses towards the end. Margayya cannot be forgiven of the responsibility of spoiling his son. He is callously indifferent to the fatherly duties of upbringing a child. Third one, third short note on Margayya as a symbol of greed. Margayya is the protagonist of the novel The Financial Expert, written by R.K. Narayan. Margayya is quite suitable for a tragic hero. His shrewd and hard-working character leads him to the heights of wealth from being broke. Making wealth is his sole wealth throughout his life, and there is no limit to his lust for money. But he has no interest in living a lavish life and doesn't spend money in extravagant things except an umbrella. In spite of his flaws, we love his character because he lives his life with pragmatic principles which are must for survival in this brutal world. He is considered as a genius in financial matters, and later in the novel, people regard him as a wizard. In the beginning, he helps villagers in getting loans from the cooperative bank and makes a living for this work. He never admits this work as a business in front of the villagers. He tells them it is a merely social service to help those poor souls. His genius is again exhibited when he handles the matters of publishing without even knowing the basics of the field. Unfortunately, his son doesn't share his ingenuity or his cleverness. His arrogant and impulsive nature is shown in the novel. He rarely thinks about his wife's needs other than the attempts to fill it with money. He doesn't understand that money is not the only thing one requires. There are other things such as love, emotional support, and respect. He's quite indifferent to others' needs. He continuously forces his son to study hard even when it becomes clear to him that Balu doesn't show a mere light of intellectual prowess, but his dominant character does not want an answer in negative. In the beginning part of the novel, we witness how he ill treats Arul Das, a peon of cooperative bank. He abuses him, but Arul Das never speaks in his language to him. Partially because of Arul Das and secretary, the lust of money incensed in his heart, and its craving never ends short after his conflict with them. His assertiveness is at the center of his character and reflects Marryat's times in the novel. He's quite confident of himself and handles matters without showing other that he's in dire condition. Only Dr. Pal surpasses him in intellectual matters. He never, throughout the novel, shows gratitude to Dr. Pal for helping him infinite times. But in the end, Dr. Pal brings him back to the floor straight from excessive riches. So now we are coming to the part two. Now we are coming to the part two of this question paper from this novella. So far we have discussed here 5 marks questions from the novella. Now we are going to have a discussion of 10 marks questions. So you will be having 3 questions. Out of 3 questions, you need to attempt 2 questions for 10 marks. Question number 1. How does R.K. Narayan portray the relationship of Margayya and Dr. Pal and its consequences? Dr. Pal plays a significant role in the life of Margayya and his family. He is responsible for making and marrying Margayya's fortune. Dr. Pal meets Margayya near the pond where the latter has gone to collect red lotus. He helps Margayya pluck a red lotus from the middle of the pond. He is a man of about 30, lank, tall, having long hair and sunken eyes. He has very youthful and imposing appearance. He informs Margayya that he is associated with Silver Way, a Tamil newspaper brought out from Madras. Margayya is charmed by the personality of Dr. Pal and accompanies him to his hut. Dr. Pal tells Margayya that he's a sociologist. He's writing a book on sexuology titled Bed Life. He tells Margayya that all the problems in life are caused by the ignorance of the people regarding sexual matters. In writing this book, his aim is to make people understand the significance of sexual matter for domestic harmony. Margayya is overwhelmed with his knowledge. But now, Dr. Pal has completed his book. He knows that he can make lakhs of rupees in one go by publishing this book. He gladly gives the book to Margayya for only 25 rupees. Margayya gets into 50-50 partnership with the printer Madan Lal. The book within a short time had made Margayya a very rich person. Dr. Pal transforms Margayya's life into a pleasant chapter, plays a corrupting role in the life of Margayya. He exercises a very bad influence on his son Balu. Dr. Pal starts taking Balu outside to a house of ill repute where there are cheap theater girls. They eat, drink, gamble, enjoy in the company of those girls. Dr. Pal instigates Balu to demand his share of the ancestral property from his father. Margayya visits his son's house, finding Balu, Dr. Pal, and 3 girls. Thus, Dr. Pal involves Balu in immoral activities which infuriated Margayya and he attacked him. Later, Margayya came to know that Pal was Balu's companion and he indulged him in playing cards, drinking alcohol, womanizing. Margayya knew Pal's might and he was thinking of sending Pal to another city for some errands to protect his son from his bad company, but the plan did not work out. Later, Dr. Pal is badly beaten by Margayya and Dr. Pal lodges a police complaint against Margayya. Due to this, he starts losing his clients and they feel that money is not safe with him. The clients start taking back all the money, making Margayya bankrupt. Thus, Dr. Pal brings about Margayya's ruin. Second question, describe Margayya as a banker and financial expert. So this question will give you quite a brief summary indirectly. Margayya's real name was Krishna, but he was known as Margayya. He begins his career as a petty money lender, doing his business under a banyan tree. in front of the Central Cooperative Land Mortgage Bank in Malgudi. He helps the shareholders of the bank to borrow money at a small interest and lend it to the needy at higher interest. In the process, he makes money for himself. The secretary of the bank and Aruldas, the peon, sees from his box the loan applications which he has managed to get from the bank through its shareholders. They treat him with contempt and threaten to take action against him. Margayya is unable to carry on his business after Balu and his son throws his account book into the gutter. It had all the entries of his business dealings with his clients. He presents his horoscope to an astrologer who assures him that if he performs puja to Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, a wonderful time is coming for him. Ash from a red lotus and ghee prepared from milk from a grey cow are used in the 40 days puja. Margaya does the puja and emerges from it full of expectations for a successful future. Dr. Pal, who sells him the manuscript of a book named Bed Life for whatever ready cash, Margaya's purse contents assures him that the book renamed Domestic Harmony will sell in tens of thousands if only he can find a publisher. Madan Lal, a man from the north, reads the script and agrees to print and publish it on a 50-50 partnership basis. The book is at once popular and Margaya's fortune is made. Margayya is again ruined by his son Balu. He had put him to school in great style, getting the blessings of his brother and sister-in-law next door. His wealth had enabled him to become the secretary of the school managing committee. He had engaged a private tutor for his son and instructed him to thrash the boy whenever necessary, but Balu was not good at his studies. He failed to pass SSLC. Margayya attempts to SSLC means 10th standard. Margayya attempts to persuade him to take the examination a second time. The result is that Balu seizes the school, leaving certificate book, tears it, tears it into four quarters and throws them into the gutter. The same gutter which closed its dark waters over Margayya's red book of accounts. Now it carries away the school certificate book. Then he runs away from home. A few days later, there's a letter from Madras telling Margayya that his son is dead. The brother's family immediately comes to his help through though Margayya feels he can do without the help and wonders whether this will change the existing relationship between them. He leaves for Madras and discovers through the good offices of a fellow traveler, a police inspector in a plain clothes, that his son is not really dead, traces the boy and brings him home. He wants to marry him to a girl named Brinda, the daughter of the owner of a tea estate in Mempi Hills. When a Pandit, after an honest study, declares that the horoscope of Balu and Brinda do not match, he is curtly dismissed with a fee of 1 rupee. Another astrologer, whom Dr. Pal finds, gives it in writing that the two horoscope match perfectly and is paid rupees 75 for his pains. Money can dictate the very stars in their courses. Balu and his wife are helped to set up an establishment of their own in Lawley Extension. Margayya, wishing to draw Dr. Pal away from his son, seeks his help in attracting deposits from black marketers on the promise of interest of 29% interest. He says, if I get rupees 20,000 deposit each day and thousand pay thousand five pay 15,000 rupees as an interest, I still have rupees 5,000 per day left in my hands as my own. This is what Margayya calculates. Margayya grows rich. It is now necessary for him to have a car. Every nook and corner of his house is stuffed with sacks full of currency notes. He's on the right side of the police, contributes the war fund when driven to do so, and works day and night with his accounts and money bags. Though his wife is unhappy at his straining himself so much, one day Margayya visits his son in Lolly Extension. He finds Brinda and a child, and the girl cannot hold back her tears while narrating Balu's activities. When Margayya gets out of the house, he finds a car halting in front of it, of which emerges Balu. His companions are Dr. Pal and a couple of women of the town. The enraged father pulls Dr. Pal out of the car, beats him, and dismisses the two women with contempt. The next day, Dr. Pal, with a bandaged face, whispers to all and sundry that things are not going well with Margayya's concern. Hundreds of people came to Margayya and asked for their deposits. All the accumulated wealth is disbursed. Still, hundreds of people cannot be satisfied. The run on the bank leads to Margayya's filling, filling of an insolvency petition. Thus, like a house of cards, the wealthy Margayya, the wealth Margayya had accumulated is blown away. He advises his son to take his place under the banyan tree with the old box when he says, "How can I go and sit there? What will people say?" He replies, "Very well, then I will do it." The theme of the novel is lust for money, but Margayya is no monster of greed and wickedness. R.K. Narayan has succeeded in humanizing him and showing that despite his lust for money, he is a human being like us. Question number 3 for 10 marks. 10 marks. Now, in this question, what were the factors that led to the downfall of Margayya, the financial wizard? So this question also has a similar answer of the related to the previous answer only. So in this answer, what have I done? I have tried to give a glimpse of all the 4 important phases of this novella that will help you to expand or to elaborate your answer more extensively. The Financial Expert is the story of the rise and fall of Margayya. It is the obsession with money that takes him to the pinnacle of wealth and ultimately brings his downfall. The story of his rise and fall is in 5 phases. In the first phase, Margayya acts as a financial advisor to the peasants, farmers. He transacts his business under a banyan tree in front of the Malgudi Central Cooperative Mortgage Bank. There's always a semicircle of peasants sitting around him, and by their attitude and expression, one might easily guess that they are suppliants. For them, Margayya is a wizard who enables to draw unlimited loans from the cooperative bank. In the second phase, Margayya becomes a prosperous publisher of the book Domestic Harmony in collaboration with the printer Madan Lal, but he hates this business. He goes to the priest and shows him his horoscope, who tells him to worship Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, for 40 days. Margayya goes to the pond of the red lotuses. He meets Dr. Pal, a journalist, correspondent, and an author. His book Bed Life is printed in the press of Madan Lal on a 50-50 partnership basis. He earns a lot of money through the sales of this book, and within a short period, he becomes well known for his riches. In the third phase, Margayya becomes a financial advisor and a money lender to the peasants with his own offices in Market Road. This he does after selling his copyright to the Domestic Harmony to Madan Lal. In the fourth phase, Margayya becomes the financial wizard who receives deposit and pays fabulous rates of interest with the help of Dr. Pal, and he becomes very rich and influential citizen of Malgudi. In the fifth phase, we come across the insolvent Margayya. As a result of his quarrel with Dr. Pal, Margayya loses everything. Dr. Pal is beaten and insulted by Margayya in the presence of Balu and actresses. Dr. Pal takes revenge. He not only files an FIR against him, but also spreads rumor that Margayya's financial position is weak. People come to Margayya to get their money withdrawn. Margayya declares himself an insolvent. He returns to where he had started. So you can also bring some more elements of summary to make your answer more elaborative. So this is what we have discussed here from the questions of from the financial expert from the novella. So this is for 30 marks. We have discussed so far 30 marks, 5 into 2 and 2 into 10. Now you have the next part is here, part 3. You need to answer 2 questions out of 4 in about a page, and out of 2 questions there should be 1 question from poetry and 1 from TED Talks. So each for 5 marks. How can one please Kudal Sangama according to Baswarna? I have tried my best to answer this question. You can also add your answer. In the first Vachanas, Baswarna suggests how to please Lord Kudal Sangama. He says if we want to win or please the Lord Kudal Sangama, we should not steal anything in life. We should not kill. Baswarna suggests not to utter the untruth. He says that we should not be angry and should not have any disgust feeling about others. He also suggests that not to boast of ourselves and or not to criticize others. These ways will help us to cleanse not only our body but also soul. Finally, it will lead to the path to please or win the Lord Kudal Sangama Deva. So as Baswana says, the way of pleasing Kudal Sangama Deva: do not steal, do not kill, do not utter the untruth. Never be angry, never loathe others, do not boast of yourself or criticize anyone. This is the way to cleanse the soul, this is the way to cleanse the body, this is the way to please our Lord, Kudal Sangama Deva. Question number 2. Why does Kailash Satyarthi urge people to be angry? Kailash Satyarthi says that when he was 11, seeing some of his friends leaving the school because their parents could not afford textbooks made him angry. When he was 27, hearing the plight of a desperate slave father whose daughter was about to be sold to a brothel made him angry. At the age of 50, lying on the street in a pool of blood along with his own son made him angry. He further comments that for centuries we were taught anger is bad. Our parents, teachers, priests, everyone taught us how to control and suppress our anger. But he questions, why can't we convert our anger for the larger good of society? Why can't we use our anger to challenge and change the evils of the world? That's what Kailash Satyarthi tried to do. Question number 3. Define stigma and mention the type of stigmas as explained by Preethi Srinivasan. Preethi Srinivasan comments on stigma and says that it can be denied in many ways. For her, the definition of stigma is that when you're treated like the other, when you're treated like you don't belong, you are not popular, you are not accepted. That's meaning of stigma. Speaking on types of stigma, she says there are 3 types of stigma: rejection, exclusion, and dependence. This can be seen every day in school where children being rejected or bullied just because they are too fat or too skinny, or they are too fat, too skinny, or too tall. The reasons are endless. We don't need any reasons. And as we grow up and enter the college and the workplace, we all find people who are unpopular, who are discarded, who are considered the fringe and not accepted amongst anyone. She urges to introspect, to be the change, and all about think about all the times when we have seen stigma happening and we have quietly ignored. So these are the 3 questions. Out of the 3 questions, you need to attempt 2 questions. So dear friends, till now we have discussed here 40 marks question paper, 30 marks novella, and 10 marks TED Talks and poetry. Now we are moving to the part 2 of the question paper. Section B. Section B consists 20 marks to begin it. The part 4, technical writing. So here, technical writing. So here you'll be asked some questions to write something about on any of the topic, on one of the topics. So I not given any answer for these questions, but I would like to give some guidelines. This is for 5 marks, because I believe that writing skill differ from person to person, and every person is a good writer. Uh, Only just we need some guidance here. Let me tell you, once you start writing on any of the topic, remember there should be three important segments of writing. One is a title, topic sentence, content, and concluding remark. So there's a question here. Recently, you have traveled to a historical and beautiful place. Give details about the place, your journey, experience, and feedback. So, dear friends, don't worry. It's very simple. Remember your school days. You used to write something about your experience, your journey. Same thing you need to write here. You need to write in the past tense. In the past tense. So you can see here I mentioned few key points. So when you write about your experience of any traveling place, any place or historical place, you should mention how did you plan, which are the places you visited, how you started, which are the places you visited, and any incident or any experience which you find that it was really excellent, fantastic, you would like to share with the reader and give a feedback that how was it. That's it. Write in simple language, write in the past tense. Probably the first person you will mention that last month we went to Kullu Manali, we started our journey like this. So this is how you can write your travel experience. So this question is from the one of the topics called travelogue from the section technical writing. Question 2, article writing. Again, article writing, there's a question here. Write an article on the importance of healthy habits in life. So when you're writing on this topic, you think in your mind that what is the meaning of hobby, what is the meaning of habit, and you list out the various habits. You find out which are the habits are good habits, bad habits, good habits versus bad habits, and give some real life examples of those good habits like daily walk, sleep early, having food in time, nutritious food, etc. So you begin, write the title, your topic sentence, first three, 4 lines should reflect that about which topic are you writing. Then you start elaboration, then you conclude your topic. You will definitely get the best marks. That's the reason that I'm not given here any ready-made answers for you, because I believe that everybody is good writer. Everybody has a writing skill. Only one thing we need to keep in mind, the organizing the ideas and the thoughts, there should be a good sequence, all the thoughts should connect to each other, and there should not be any grammatical errors. Okay, let's move to the next part. Is here very important part, email writing. So you have 3 4 types of email writing in syllabus: appreciation email, congratulation email, etc. So you need to attempt here 2 emails. So this is very important section of the workbook or your question paper, because you are attempting here out of 4 or 3 emails, you are attempting here 2 emails, and each email is for 5 marks. First one, you have planned to study a distance course online from XYZ International University, writing an email to the course coordinator requesting information about the course. So I have tried my best to draft. Obviously, we need to mention your from address. Though we are writing as a manual answer, we are not using a desktop here. So we should write from address, etc. gmail.com, to whom abcuniversity@gmail.com. Subject, inquiry for online diploma course. Dear John, I hope this email finds you well. My name is Mukesh and I'm interested in applying to your esteemed university for further studies. However, before I proceed with my application, I would like to seek some information about the courses that you offer. I'm particularly interested in diploma in journalism in online mode, and I would appreciate if you could provide me with some more details about the courses available in this field. Specifically, I'm interested in learning about the course structure, the syllabus, and any prerequisites that I need to fulfill before enrolling in the course. It would be great if you could provide me with information on the career prospects in this field after completing this course. Lastly, I would like to know if there is any financial assistance available for students who wish to pursue their education at a university. Thank you for your time and assistance in this matter. I look forward to hearing back from you soon. Best regards, Mukesh. So more or less, the body of the email is very much similar to the letter writing, only the components varies here. Components vary. Here we have from address, to address, email address, then subject. So instead of yours faithfully, sincerely, we are writing here best regards. Let's move on to the next email. Now we have business email. The next one, as the manager of Goldfish Incorporation, draft an email to your employees appreciating the efforts in getting the best startup of the year award. So it's an appreciation mail. So from address to email address, subject appreciation for best startup the year award. Dear team members, we are proud for receiving the best startup of the year award. We appreciate you for the amazing work you did on this first startup of the company. Your professionalism reflects in the countless hours you have put into this and made it successful one. Self-motivation, dedication, and diligence are the hallmarks of a team, and we got the fruits. Thank you once again. Regards, Manager Goldfish. So it does not, don't think so that the email should be very lengthy. If it should be very specific. Remember, email should be very specific. You need not exaggerate, depends on the nature of the question. Third question, the third email, you have received the necessary documents from your client Nayak Associates to approve a loan. Compose an email with acknowledging the receipt of the document. Okay, so it's an acknowledgement email. So first was appreciation, then you had appreciation inquiry email, and this is a acknowledgement email. So from manish@gmail.com to Nayak Associates @gmail.com, subject acknowledgement of the receipt of documents. Dear sir, with reference to your online personal loan application dated 16th August 2023, we have received all the documents attached and verified. All documents are authentic and fill all the requirements to approve the loan. We acknowledge the receipt of the documents for the loan. Regards, Manager, ABC Bank. So friends, this is how 3 questions, 3 emails out of 3 emails you need to opt to. So it's very interesting question, very scoring one. Write promptly, don't write too much. Follow the format, you will get 10 out of 10. So now we are moving to the last section of the question paper, social media content writing. So when I have seen your model question paper, I found that this section may be asked only the short type of the questions, short questions, 2 marks, 2 marks, and 1 mark. So here you need to attempt all 3 questions are compulsory. What is social media content writing? This question is for 2 marks. It is a process of writing content for social media audience, usually across multiple major social media platforms. It can include writing short captions for TikTok or Instagram reels, or long form like LinkedIn articles, and everything in between. Question number 2, again for 2 marks. Mention any 2 benefits of having an online profile. All of us have the profile, like we have profile on Facebook, we have profile on Instagram, we have profile on LinkedIn. What are the 2 benefits? It displays the uniqueness and the usefulness of profile. It gives a potential employer a glimpse into your personality. Moreover, to be with technology, we have to stay with technology. We are in the era of competition. We must have the online profile. And the last question is here, posting confidential information on social media platform is safe? No, it's a false statement. It is not safe. So this is how the social media content writing, it consists 5 marks weightage. It will be here, they'll ask you 3 questions, 1 question for 2 marks, another 2 marks, and for 1 mark. So now let's have a recapitulation of the whole question paper. So the section A consists 40 marks from the novella Financial Expert. 2 marks, 5 questions you need to attempt, and 10 marks, 2 questions you need to attempt. From the poems and from the TED Talks, you need to attempt two questions, one from poem and one from TED Talk compulsorily. So section A for 40 marks. Then out in the technical writing, you have here, you need to attempt 1 question, that's for 5 marks. Then email, technical writing in the sense, the article writing, the travelogue writing, article writing, it's more or less, it's like writing on any of the topics. Don't worry about it. Then email writing, you'll be given 3 emails. Out of 3 emails, you need to attempt only 2 emails. That's for 10 marks. Social media content writing has only the 5 marks weightage, according to this question paper pattern of Bangalore City University BCU. So this is how I have tried to answer the model question paper. Friends, if you have liked this video, click on the like button, write in the comment box, and you can also find in the description box all the chapters, videos, links. So wish you good luck for the examination. Stay in tune with Mukesh English. Thank you once again.
Dear friends, thank you so much for watching this video. You can reach me at mukeshenglish@gmail.com. Please do subscribe the channel, click on the like button for more videos on literature, workbook, pronunciation, grammar, communication skills, presentation skills, interview skills. Stay in tune with Mukesh English. Thank you once again.